welcome back to Awful Deco. It's that time of year again and we have to decorate this tree. So today we will be making ornaments. And before we begin, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came to my Instagram live sale last week. I had a lot of fun and the next one is going to be coming up soon. It will have these ornaments and you will be able to get first dibs on a lot of new things that I am making. So check out my Instagram at @LFullDeco to see what I'm making and what will be available in the next live sale and any live sale exclusive deals. Now let's get started on the ornaments. These are the different shape molds that we will be using to make our ornaments. We have the arch, the heart, the star, and the moon, and I make these myself along with a lot of different other shapes, and they are available in my mold shop, LFull Molds, on Etsy. I will link it in the description if you want to get your own ornament molds. For the resin, we are using Totabold's high performance resin. This is my go-to resin for pretty much anything that I make with molds or thinner pieces and floral pieces as well. My trays, my letters, my pendants, they all use this resin. I will also link this in the description if you want to try out this resin, and if you use my link you will get a little bit of a discount off your resin as well. So what I just did was make sure that my entire mold is coated with a layer of resin. This is just a thin layer for the flowers to stay in place, and then we will go back and do a second layer for the background color. When we work with flowers, it's best to pour the pieces in layers because flowers tend to float to the top. So when you pour after you pour the first layer, the flowers will have a little bit sticking out, and then you still have space in the mold to pour a background color or even just more clear if that's what you wanted. Right now I am placing my flowers with no particular placement in mind. I'm using red and white flowers, and then I will add some greens to it. I thought this would make it feel very Christmassy with the colors. And once I finish my layer here, I will let the resin cure, and then I will come back and do the background layer. I just finished my flower placement, and now I'm adding a little bit of glitter to these ornaments. I pick up a little bit with my mixing stick and then I lightly tap it so it kind of looks like snowfall, but sparkling snowfall. This glitter mix is unfortunately discontinued, but I have a lot of this artist's glitter on hand, so I will be using them in my videos. And now here's a close-up of what the ornaments look like in the first layer. You can see that the flowers are sort of sticking up, which is what I was talking about earlier and why we do not fill the molds to the top in this first layer, and we save space for the second layer. Now the first layer that we poured has set, and we are doing the background layer now. And I already mixed up the resin. We are using the same Totabold's high performance resin, and just showed you a color shifting pigment that we will be using. And it's a little bit hard to see the shifts, but you will later. And then we will pair it with this midnight blue from Black Diamond pigment, and then a little bit of clear to give it a little bit of a wispy effect. You'll see what I mean. I chose these colors because I wanted to create like a nighttime effect for these ornaments. So I just drizzle in these colors into the mold in no particular order, just whatever I'm feeling, and then let them mix together and see how they turn out. I do the colors first, and then I add in the clear to help spread out whatever I had already poured into the mold, and this gives it like a nice layering effect for the colors. In a bit, I realized that I did not mix up enough resin, so I will go and mix up a little bit more resin. I cut off the part where I was mixing resin, so you can see that the colors have already spread a little bit. You can already see a little bit of the layering effect that I was talking about, so hopefully that shows more when we are done with this and demold the piece. But for now, I will fill up the molds to the top, and then we will come back and demold them. I really wanted you to see that color shifting effect from that pigment that I was talking about, so you focus on the green and you see how it turns to like a purple blue. It was like a green blue and then it's a purple blue. So it looks really cool. I'm really excited for these. I left these pieces overnight to fully harden and now we can demold them. We are starting with the arch and this is how it turned out. The little sparkles caught my attention really fast, and then the colors are so pretty. I love it. It feels really Christmassy with these colors and Christmas night, which is what I was going for. And here's the heart. It's so cute. This would look so pretty on the Christmas tree, and then after Christmas you can just hang it up on your wall as an ornament, which is what it is. And now here's the moon. This shape is so fun and so different. The moon and star is like perfect for the holidays, because look at this star. It's so pretty. This star could be the star for your Christmas tree if your tree was on the smaller end. Now since these are ornaments, we have to drill holes for the ribbon, and I will show you exactly how I do this. First, I have a foam board that I drill on, and I'm using my Black & Decker drill. I got these drill bits off Amazon. They come in different sizes, and I just chose one that would be perfect for the ribbon. And then we will figure out where we want to place the holes for the ribbons and how we want to place the ornaments. I do offer these ornament molds with holes already placed in the mold. That way when you demold it, you don't have to do this drilling, but I prefer them without the holes. That way it's more flexible. I can choose to have the heart facing forward on its side, or like the moon can face both ways. The arch can go forward arch, like upside down arch, or regular facing arch like what I'm doing now, or I can drill it on the bottom on the flat side and it's a different piece. So we could create different styles with the regular no hole molds, and you can also use them for other things instead of ornaments because you're not forced to have the hole in it. But that's just my preference, and both options are available in my Etsy shop, so you can check that out with the link in the description. Now all the holes are in place and I'm just cleaning out some of the dust from the drilling, and this is actually not the last step. We are just halfway through the process. We will be adding a top coat to cover up any imperfections on the surface and make the piece shiny. The first step to top coating is to protect the back of our pieces with Elmer's glue. This is to protect the back from any resin that drips over the edges when we're top coating. The Elmer's glue does not bond to the resin, so we can peel it off right after, once it's cured and after we do our top coat, and any resin that drips over the edges will go with the glue as well. It'll peel off when we peel the glue off. So I just apply a little bit of the glue to the middle and then add more if I need, and I spread it with a silicone brush. The glue doesn't stick to the silicone brush as well, so I just let it dry on the brush, and then once it's dried I just peel the glue off and we can reuse the brush as many times as we need. For this step you can also use liquid latex. The process is the same from application to removal, and how it works with protecting the back of your resin pieces. Last time I got the liquid latex, I remember it being pretty expensive, so that is the biggest reason why I switched to the glue. And then the second reason is, as I spilled all this glue onto the table, ease of use. I actually prefer the glue because I find it easier to use. Despite what you just saw on the screen, I actually, when I was using the liquid latex before, I would get spills like this like no tomorrow. So every single piece was dripping from the front with liquid latex, so it was very messy for me. But you can see that a lot of these pieces that I have glued in this video, like these several pieces that we're doing now and in previous videos, it doesn't happen often that I get a mess like this. But with something like this, we just let it dry. If there are glue spills or liquid latex spills, whatever you are using, just let it dry and then clean it up, peel it off, redo it. I will show you how I clean up this mess after I finish applying the glue and let it dry. So there's no need to panic if this happens to you. I do want to note that one of the downsides of using glue is that it does take longer to dry, about 18 hours for me if I just leave it. But if I have a fan blowing at it, it shortens it by like 3 times. So I will apply the glue at night and then have a fan blowing at it, my pieces, and just leave it there overnight. What you just saw was me peeling the dried glue off the table very easily, so you just have to do the same with the piece. You can also wash it with water because glue is washable, and then once your piece is cleaned up, just take it to the top coat. When we do our top coats, we want to set the piece on top of something. I'm just using a cup. It doesn't matter what you use as long as there's some height and it's going to be leveled. That is so if there are any resin that drips over the edges, your piece won't be sitting in a puddle of resin. And I just showed you that the moon is completely cleaned up and we are ready to top coat. For this top coating, I am using tabletop resin, Totabold's tabletop resin. This is the resin that I use for all of my top coats because it is a thicker consistency, so it doesn't easily run over the edges and you can get a really pretty dome effect. And also, this is exactly what the resin is made for, coating surfaces, so it's perfect for our top coats. When I do my top coats, I add a little bit of resin to the center of the piece and then I spray it out with my mixing stick. I will add more resin as I go if I need to, like right now, and that is just to make sure that I have full control over the top coating of this piece. If we pour too much at once, it's going to become a little bit messy with it spilling everywhere, and that it's fine because we have the back protected, but it just is a waste of resin as well. So just pour a little bit in the center and then add more as you go if you need. When we do our top coats, we want to make sure that we stick around until the end of the work time of the resin. So for me, this resin has a work time of about 20 to 30 minutes. So I'll be around the whole time to make sure if there are any bubbles that pop up, I will use a heat gun to pop them because bubbles rise to the surface as it cures. So pretty much until the end of the work time, the bubbles are still rising, and then I will leave it alone and come back maybe another 20 minutes later just to make sure if there are any additional bubbles, and I can still pop it within that time frame. Otherwise, it will cure and then we will have to sand it and redo the top coat. That's just a note I want to make. I left the top coat to fully harden and now you can see how shiny that surface is, and we did get a little bit of a drip on the back for some pieces, and that is why we glue the back of our pieces. That way we can peel the drips off easily. And unfortunately, one of the drips did end up getting into the ribbon hole, so we will have to clean that up, drill it again. But right now, to peel the glue off, I use a sharp tool, and I try to find where there is like a little glue bubble and I pick at that way I don't scratch the surface of my pieces, and I just peel the tape right off and the resin drips will come with it. Now what's left to do is to re-drill the hole for the star and then add the ribbons. So I am using my Black & Decker drill again. I just have to find the right drill bit that I used, and this is from the set that I have, the same drill bit and the same drill that I was showing earlier. And it may seem like, why did we drill the hole at first if it's gonna do this or it makes it harder, but I wanted the dome effect around the hole, so that's why I had drilled it first and just hoped that when I top coat the resin wouldn't fill the hole. But it's an easy fix, as you could see. Now we're finally adding the ribbons on to make them the ornaments that they're supposed to be. I got this gold ribbon from Walmart and I'm just cutting it to the size that I want, the length that I want, and once I cut that, I will string it through the hole and hang them on the tree for you to see. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you had fun making these ornaments with me. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out all the other ornaments that we have in my shop. I made new floral stain ornaments, and then we have beach ornaments and really cute dog ornaments. So I will add the link to my shop in the description, and you can check that out, all the ornaments and all the new Christmas stuff that I have. And I'll see you next time.